The girls made the decision to go to the kitchen and prepare themselves a food because they were starving. To provide some light, Taylor lighted some candles and set them on the table. It was pitch black outside, and her parents weren't expected to arrive for some hours. The girls made themselves some peanut butter and jelly toast by searching the cabinets. Mary started gagging in the middle of what they were eating. Her hands began to claw at her throat as her eyes widened. She was suffocating. As Taylor attempted to assist her friend, a panic attack struck her. Mary was wheezing and coughing, and her face was getting quite red. She collapsed on the ground and lost air. Taylor was at a loss for what to do. She yelled and hit on Mary's chest, but it was ineffective. She had passed away. Taylor just sat there on the floor sobbing loudly while her face was covered by her hands. She gazed down at her friend. Mary had a terrible frown on her purple face. Her tongue was stuck out, and her lips were blue. It was a terrible scene. Taylor took a blanket and covered her friend's corpse because she couldn't bear to look at her any longer. She hurried to the phone and attempted to ring her parents, but there was no dial tone. She assumed that the lines must be down. When she pulled out her phone, there was no reception. Taylor fled the house in a desperate attempt to find assistance. Outside, it was bitterly cold, and the night was pitch black. Shivering and trembling, she walked into the snow, but she soon became lost and unsure of her direction. She thought she was going to die of hypothermia, and her teeth were chattering. She was eventually compelled to go back. She made it back to her house and sighed a sigh of relief when she was safe inside. She started to warm herself up by massaging her arms and legs to regain circulation. Taylor looked for some medication since she was worried about getting sick. She staggered down the dimly lit corridor to the restroom. She searched the shelves in the dark light until she located a bottle, cracked it open, and drank the contents. She started coughing and spluttering all of a sudden. Her entire body felt a terrible agony. Her throat seemed to be burning. Her gut had the sensation of being torn apart. She fell to the ground while moaning in agonizing pain as the room started to spin. The lights turned on again right then. Turned her head to look at the bottle she was holding. She was barely able to make out the label through her blurry vision. She was horrified to discover that the liquid she had consumed was not cough syrup at all. It contained bleach.